Greetings and salutations, my name is Deltran, and I feel like talking about Fire Emblem Heroes on my way home from work. So here is what is on my mind. There was some discussion I saw around the intertubes the other day about having units that you could plus 10, and people were like opening it up like, well, if you could just have a plus 10 right now, what would it be? I didn't really participate out loud in the conversation, but I did put some thought into this question, and I think there's a couple of units out there that people are sleeping on right now that would just completely blow open their entire concept of like what is possible within a group. The question was originally phrased such that there was no real restrictions on it, so you know what, I'll answer it in the spirit of that, and then I'll give you a more realistic answer. So if I could really have any plus 10 unit right now, regardless of restrictions, I think it would have to be Arden. A lot of people think that whenever Reinhardt came out that was a big mistake in the game and that it took a while to IS to fix it. I think Arden is the biggest mistake, gameplay-wise. There's just no beating him. There's a couple of sets on him that just make him incredibly unstoppable. And it really whittles down the number of builds and the number of units that can effectively take him out. As a matter of fact, he has so much reach that you could field a +1 Arden against pretty much anything that's out there right now that's popular in Arena. And if it's not blue and highly merged, it's not gonna live. Harden is such a beast. Follow-up ring is amazing, and I did a Harden video a while ago. I didn't do the set that ends up getting you the best results in Arena though, which would be distant counter along with slaying edge. Now combining that, keeping the follow-up ring, and then you know what, depending on your particular circumstances, your special may differ. Ignis is a wonderful special to put on him. Bonfire sometimes gets you a little better results because there are a few matchups that sort of beat you to the punchline if you don't do that, or if you catch them as opposed to initiating on them, because then they'll end up getting that second hit where you know, on the initiation whenever you don't want that. So there's just a few like tweaks here and there, and of course this is just casual conversation. There's no DPT analysis, but Arden is an absolute beast on the battlefield, and if I could have any plus 10 unit at all, no restrictions, it would be him. Now that doesn't help too many of us out. It does let you know that if you're sitting on one, you should build him, but yeah, that doesn't help the rest of us out. So is there anyone else out there that I think is sort of like the best unit in the game that nobody is talking about? Well, yeah, I think it is Harden with an H this time. The blue Fel unit that came out, he's wonderful, guys. He has such great potential. His defenses are really high, and his default kit is perfect. You go ahead and put him on the field. You don't have to. I would give him Bonfire. Get rid of Vengeance, guys. Vengeance isn't doing anything for you. Get rid of Vengeance. Put him on the field with Bonfire, and then you let somebody initiate into you, and then guess what? He loses less fights once he has his brazen attack and resist or defense and resistance up than he does at full hit points. That's how you use that skill. That's how you know it's useful. So once he has that up, he's gonna retaliate on you. He's gonna get 2 hits. He's gonna have everything completely up and ready to go. And yeah, you could go with a couple of you could go with Ignis or something like that, thinking like, oh, well, you know what, I might have it charged up, but Bonfire is important for the same reason it was a consideration for Arden. Not a requirement for Arden, but a consideration. The thing here is that, yeah, there's some units that are still going to go ahead and put you under if you don't come right back with that Bonfire proc first thing. So that is where that's coming from, guys. And I totally think that if people fielded more Hardens, I would be so much sadder in my Arena runs. I mean, he has good fodder, am I right? I mean, it's Bold Fighter. Who doesn't want to have Bold Fighter on everything? So I threw one away to give it to my Grima, and I don't regret it. But I really do wish that I had gotten a heck of a lot more Hardens. It's not like for lack of trying. Trust me. I spent pretty heavily on that banner. The Fel banner was probably one of the best banners we've had. Celica is a good unit. A little bit of limited use in PvE. And has a really good fodder skill, which basically means she still has good use in PvE and continued use in PvP. Grima we don't need to talk about. Fel, Robin, so to speak, we don't need to talk about. Harden was just as impressive, if not more impressive, to be honest with you, because he didn't have the problem of being weak to the Sword Lords very much. He doesn't have the problem of having a lower defense, because they're both really good, and he does all of his damage through specials, and he has something that charges the special. It's a no-brainer, guys. Next time Harden is on a banner, go for blue. You are not going to be sad. It's absolutely wonderful. And this is what my commute is like. Putt, putt, putt. Are there other powerful units in this game? Absolutely. I mean, I already mentioned Grima, there's Myrrh, they're both dragons. Now he's good, but when it comes down to it, no one's talking about Harden. And like I alluded to earlier, I'm glad, because I don't want to have to deal with that crap in Arena. I do have a fairly reliable counter against it, because I mean Effie's out there, but you know what? Not all Effie counters can handle what Harden is bringing. So that's just one thing to be aware of. And as I already mentioned, if they do anything in this game to let you get merges just for the sake of getting merges on something, max out Arden. I mean, you have like that dynamic duo right there. I don't want to deal with that. Although on defensive teams, Arden's not that impressive because he has such a low resistance. You can usually get around that, but that's not even 100% guaranteed. Although it's just be careful. And really consider building both of those guys up. So I had a bunch of thoughts all set up to talk to you about the Blessed Gardens, but then my phone decided to go ahead and make this awful jittering noise in its stand. So I'm not going to release that right now. I'll probably release it as a video later on, because it's definitely very interesting. And so this is all I got for you this drive. So do me a favor, let me know down in the comments. Do you think that there is somebody who's just super powerful that no one's talking about? Do you agree with me with Harden? Have you not realized that? Let me know down in the comments, and do me a favor, if you like your Fire Emblem information out and fresh like Grandma's cookies, hit that subscribe button. My name is Deltran. Thank you guys so much. I greatly appreciate it. Until next time, take it easy.